Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, everyone on the call, we are now joined with head coach Everett Withers of Texas State. If you have a question for Coach Withers, please press *1, your telephone's keypad, to get in the queue. Texas State plays Arkansas this week. Game is set for a 6:30 p.m. kickoff in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Coach, your thoughts on last week's bye week for you and the upcoming game against Arkansas before we get to questions?
Well, yes, I thought our bye week was very productive. We got a lot done. We had the opportunity to go back and work on some fundamentals. We were not a very good team in game one, so we wanted to make sure we went back and worked on the fundamentals. We were able to do that in 3 practices. Last week, we were able to get our coaches out on the road recruiting because that's very important. So we did. We got some productive work done last week.
Thank you very much, Coach. Our first questions will come from Bob Holtz with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. Hey, I was wondering if you could talk about Tyler Jones. What kind of player is he, the skill set he's got, and how good it is to have an older quarterback like him going to a place like Arkansas?
Well, I think anytime you have a returning starter in that position is obviously the most vital position on your football team. And you can have a guy that's going into his 4th year starting and has had some experience and can kind of go back on some of his experiences in years past. Give you the opportunity to at least be able to run your offense maybe like you want to run it. And I think he's a talented young man, smart young man, very, very football savvy young man with a strong skill set as far as throwing the football and with good athleticism as far as running it.
Yeah, I guess how tough a dual threat challenge is he, and how do you think he'll fare against a tough defense like Arkansas?
Well, I mean, I think he is a dual threat challenge. Maybe not so much as a Kenny Hill last week playing Arkansas, but a guy that can use his legs, can run it. I think he's a little bit better passer than he is a runner. I think he's got strong, can make all the throws. But he will be able to, that's part of what we do in our offense. So running the balls is a prerequisite to what we want to do with the quarterback.
We'll now go to questions from Christopher Heidel.
I decided not to ask anything. Sorry.
Okay, that's all good. We'll go to questions next from Kef Chardello.
Thank you. You got my last name right. Appreciate that. So, Coach, last week Arkansas beat TCU in OT. Did you get to watch the game? And if you did, what were a few things stood out to you about Arkansas?
I did watch the game. TV scouted it, and then obviously yesterday got a chance to watch it again on video. And a very, very tough physical football team. Not only a big football team, but a linear football team, long football team. If you look at their roster, it's a lot of tall guys with size. So be a big challenge for us. I did think TCU fought their tails off. They were outmanned physically, but skill wise they weren't. So I felt like they did a really nice job. So they run a very similar offense to us. Tempo hopefully will be a chance for us to have maybe a little bit of an advantage, if any advantage at all, to be able to go tempo. But we're going to do a good job of stopping the run game that rushed for 180 yards, did turn it over. Quarterback that was very efficient in his first start this year, or actually second start.
Last time on this call last week, you said you were going back into training camp mode and going over fundamentals. You have such a young team. What's their demeanor this week? What was their demeanor throughout the whole bye week? Are they excited? Are they a little more calm? Are you kind of tempering their expectations, or how's that going?
Well, I mean, it's just the first game of the year we played over 2 weeks ago. So we've got a long way to go. We're not a very good football team right now. So every day we're trying to figure out how to improve individually, coaches, myself included. As units, there's 9 units on our football team, and then obviously as our football team and our program, we're trying to find ways to improve. So you can't you have to look and see where you can get better, and that's all we did last week was how can we get better individually as units and as a team. So when you're doing that, man, you don't have a whole lot of time to sit back and I use the term smell yourself. You can't smell yourself. You better go try to get better every day because somebody else is trying to get better every day.
We have time for one final question from Jason Kersey.
Hi, Coach. I was curious when you took over the Texas State program, just what kind of state did you find it in, and what improvements? What's been most important for you in trying to rebuild it?
When I took it over, I knew a little bit of the history, having been at the University of Texas, years previous. I knew it was set in a great setting in San Marcos. I knew you can recruit to it if you do it right. They'd only had 7 winning seasons in the last 25 years. So you take it over, it's not like it needs to be. A lot of junior college kids, a lot of kids that didn't really know how to win the right way. We had some issues. Guys didn't go to class. There's a lot of things that weren't right about the program that we needed to kind of flush out and blow up, start over, and that's kind of what we've done. If you look at our roster, we took 10 freshmen last week, 2 weeks ago, that played for us, and 23 guys played in the game that had never played the FBS game. So this is one of those deals where you're just trying to blow it up, teach guys how to do it right, build a culture, accountability and toughness and discipline. And that's what we're trying to do. And you do that in year one, and you try to get it going the right direction. Then you go recruit to it. So again, it's a long path, a long journey. We're just starting.
Thank you very much, Coach Withers. That's all the time we have for questions for today. We appreciate your time.